Hey everyone, welcome back to GL Spinners. Today I've got another new Spinner Day video for you. We are taking a look at the Namaste Elite from Woosah USA. So I just got this spinner in on Monday and it's really impressed me out of the box. Despite their yoga inspired names, Woosah is a small machining company out of Washington State. They design and machine their own spinners in-house, and so far I think they've got a great thing going. This spinner is pretty awesome. Well, let's go ahead and start what we always do, take a look at what it came in. No tin in this case. Like I said, they're a little bit of a smaller company. They still sell on Etsy, but they do ship it in an acrylic box, and inside the spinner was in some plastic, so it did stay safe during shipping. And they also have a nice personal touch with their name handwritten on the box. But again, not the best, but definitely not the worst I've seen. Let's go ahead and take a look at the spinner though. It is a tri-arm design, and I think this might be the perfect size. We've seen some other ones like it. It's easily pocketable and great for EDC. This one's stainless steel and weighs in at 73 grams or 2.6 ounces. And from end to end, it's going to measure in at slightly under 2 inches. But the first thing you're going to notice when you pick up this spinner is the machining. It really feels like a quality piece. The stainless steel frame is highly polished, and the fletching design on my version is done very well. And while none of the edges are chamfered like on a lot of other spinners, there's not a corner or hard edge to be found on this one. No hot spots, you can rub it all over, and it's super soft. This honestly might be the most comfortable frame I've seen yet. One drawback though with that highly polished frame is that it definitely is a fingerprint magnet. But let's move on to the spin. This is the Elite version, and they have a 1-drop bearing in it. It's an R188, and I mean the spin is incredibly silent and buttery smooth. The frame's really well balanced, and I really like the way this thing feels when it spins. As far as in hand, it's extremely fidgetable. It's tri-arm design, so you got a nice finger groove, and you can get really nice, strong one-handed spins. With the size, you can fidget with it however you like, any finger, any method. There's no risk of it hitting my hand while spinning. And again, with that incredible machining on it, the frame just feels good in hand. You can stop it with your finger and you're not gonna hit a corner or a rough spot. I mean, this thing's really fidgetable. But let's talk about a drawback, the buttons. They are large, but unlike the frame, they're aluminum. They have a concave area on them, but as it's just in the center, it kind of makes them feel small. I'm just not a huge fan of these. Woosah did engrave their website along the edge, but unlike other companies, it doesn't provide any extra grip or texture. And honestly, I just prefer a logo rather than the web address. They are fairly thick, and another drawback is that they're very specific to the spinner. And what I mean by that is they only go on one way. And I tried some other R188 buttons and they didn't fit. Part of the reason for this is the bearing system. So like I said before, they've got a 1-drop R188, and on this side it looks normal embedded in the frame, but on the opposite side the bearing is recessed. And the reason is this one's held in with a rubber O-ring. That's what actually keeps it in the frame. And this is what I mean by specific buttons. It's going to be hard to find another set of buttons with the correct shoulder to space these buttons out. As far as how the bearing system works, I haven't taken it out yet, so I can't really comment on that. I just received it, and honestly I don't plan on swapping out the bearing as I like the 1-drop, but it is a little bit disappointing not to be able to swap out for any other set of buttons. I'm not going to consider it a deal breaker, but it is a drawback. Let's talk about spin time though. With the 1-drop, it's not going to break any long time records, but my table spins, I did a few, they got between 3.5 and 4 minutes, so not bad. Again though, this one's not going to be designed to be a super long spinner. It's designed to fidget, and it does that amazingly well. So let me bring out a couple other ones to compare it to. First off, here on the left, I've got the Zentry. I like the Zentry. They're very similar in size. But one thing you will notice is that the arms, while they are about the same length, on the Zentry they're much thinner. As far as the overall thickness of the frame, the Zentree is slightly thicker, and I mean, they both have a similar feel though. They're that tri-arm, you know, good sized DDC spinner. Another one to compare it to is the Axis Micro. These things are very similar in size and shape. You can see they're, you know, look very close. Thickness wise, the Woosah is slightly thicker, but if you include the weights on the arms, the Axis Micro might be about the same size. One of the biggest differences between these two though is the price. The Axis Micro is about 3 times the price of the Woosah, so a big difference. And I mean, honestly, these edges on the Woosah are incredibly soft, and while they are chamfered on the Axis, they come to a pretty fine edge and can be kind of sharp. So that's a big difference, and honestly, the Woosah is so much cheaper, it's kind of hard to ignore. So, I mean, overall, first impression, I'm going to give this one a complete recommendation. I'll have a link down below in the description to their store. They have quite a few different models. They do drops pretty regular on Thursdays, and while this is my first one, it's probably not going to be my last. Plain and simple, this is a $45 stainless steel spinner with a 1-drop bearing in it that's machined to a T. Yeah, the buttons aren't the best, but the spin and in-hand feel are great. They actually also offer a different set of buttons as well, and I might pick those up on my next order from them. Instead of being these, which are, I think they're basic buttons, they're flat, recessed with a raised edge on them, and that's kind of my more preferred design. So I'll check them out next time and let you know what I think of them. But I mean, let me know what you think. Do you have one? Did you try one of their other models? As always, if you've got any questions, put them down in the comments below. If you like the video, be sure and give me a thumbs up, and if you want to see more spinner content and reviews, be sure and subscribe. As always, thanks for watching. Have a good one.